Kev G weather overview, looking at the winter weather advisories for the tri-state area, and they have been trimmed back somewhat with the 4 o'clock forecast package. This is for tonight into early tomorrow. The Connecticut coast has now been taken out of the winter weather advisory. Previously, they were under an advisory, so the Weather Service is less aggressive with the snowfall forecast as of this afternoon. And when you look at the radar for the upcoming rain and snow, really doesn't look all that impressive. There are some bands of rain and snow moving across into the tri-state area right now, but I think for the immediate New York City and Long Island area and anywhere that's not in that blue advisory area, we're not really looking at much in the way at all of accumulation. I think we'll see some flakes at times, but it really won't amount to much. Now, the Weather Prediction Center really does a great job with these minor snowfall events because they have the probability of at least an inch, and you can see that it matches up with the advisory area. So there you go. And they were less aggressive with snowfall on the Connecticut coast, and that is looking like it's bearing out as we go into the evening and the overnight hours. Now, the main story I think in the weather picture is going to be the development of our first nor'easter. Can you believe it? Our first nor'easter of the winter, and that's going to be affecting the area early next week. This is a very minor event. It's going to move on its merry way, and then we're going to turn our attention to a much more important storm, I think, for Monday afternoon through early Wednesday. It's going to be a slow-moving storm. It's going to have a lot of issues with trying to forecast where the actual snow is going to fall. I'm going to show you one interpretation of the model, but I expect a lot of this to change. And I think that it will be a situation where we're just going to have to monitor the forecast over the weekend. And I'll be back, of course, with another update by Sunday. But here we go. Our little system moves through. It develops very quickly offshore, but it intensifies too late to really give us anything meaningful. And then we wait for the next system. Saturday, most of Saturday and Sunday are going to be dry. And then we wait for the new storm, the more important nor'easter, to develop. And that'll start happening Monday afternoon. Rain will overspread the tri-state area. And by the time we get into Monday night and Tuesday morning, the rain will get heavier. And at some point, it's going to change over to snow. Now, where that happens and how far down towards the coast that actually happens is something that is going to be very difficult to forecast. But the idea is that the storm really isn't going to get out of here. This is going to be one of these slow-moving storms that linger around a while. Here we are by Tuesday morning, if you believe the GFS, and it has snow all the way down to the coast. This is for Tuesday morning. So if this is right, this could be a rough Tuesday morning commute. It's just going to be a matter of fine-tuning the forecast. But then as we get into Tuesday afternoon, the low pressure area is still lingering around the tri-state region. It's not really gone anywhere. It's not moving out to sea. And it is still here by Wednesday morning, giving parts of New England snow, if you can believe that. So it's all going to be about the short-range models and how well they do with what the temperatures are actually going to be like and whether they can support snow. And it's also going to have to do with the eventual storm track. Now, the Weather Prediction Center shows this in vivid detail Tuesday. Here's where they have the low on Monday morning. It's near the Carolina coast. Here's where they have the low on Tuesday morning, very near Montauk Point. And here's where they have the low on Wednesday morning, near Boston. So in a 24-hour span, this storm really hasn't moved a lot. And we've seen storms do this many, many, many times. And it's just going to be a question of how the storm interacts with cold air that is available, but the cold air is very marginal. So if you're thinking in terms of a general outline of this storm, you have to favor more snow inland. If there's going to be snow, it's going to be in the New York City area, probably around the Connecticut coast at some point. But the southern half of New Jersey probably not going to get in on the act unless something drastic changes with the forecast package. So I'll have more to say on this on Sunday. But right now, I would be anticipating our first nor'easter. Better late than never. If you're a weather fan, if you're a weather nut, better late than never. It is going to cause problems at the coast. There will be some coastal flooding issues and some wind issues. And if we do get heavy snow, there will be power problems because of the wet, heavy nature of the snow. Right now, I would favor that inland, but time will tell how far down the coast, if at all, snow actually develops by Tuesday into Wednesday. So stay tuned. I'll have more later in the weekend.